And good afternoon, everybody. This is Michael Filigera. I am with logicalsignals.com and also tradershelpingtraders.com. And this is the Elliott Wave update for the NASDAQ 100 for Tuesday, June 22nd, 2021. The market did end up telling us exactly what its intentions are today, and that was a very, very good thing. As I left off yesterday, we had 4 scenarios, 2 to the upside, 2 to the downside, and all of them carried equal weighting on the probability scale of being the move of choice, so to speak, and the one that the market would take. Made it clear today. So we've eliminated 2, and that's all of our downside moves, the more severe downside moves that we were talking about, that those have kind of now been eliminated for now. They will reappear, not within this. When we get to the top of the sequence, we'll be expecting some more serious downside. Right now, the sequence is going to continue up. That was pretty much made clear today. I have adjusted the labeling to reflect that. So we had left this wave 4 and basically remained fairly satisfied that this was indeed what it was. And it was the difficulty of like, well, maybe this was only wave A and this was B, and we got a bigger C wave coming, or there were other downside alternatives which would have covered us should the market start to sell off. We have Fibonacci to go with. But now we're using the extensions of measuring the expected 5th wave against the 3rd, because that's the relationship. 5th waves are related to a 3rd when it comes to Fibonacci. So you do that extension to figure these levels. And in the days gone past, we used to have to do it all by hand. In any case, we nearly got up to the 38% or 38.2% times the length of wave 3 for wave 5. Of course, that's just a small resistance. It should zip past that. In fact, I normally would use this to measure internal waves within this developing wave structure. But as you can see, I've got 1 and a 2, and then the 3rd is subdividing. So these are sub-minute waves within the minute 5, which is now in progress. And that minute 5 is going to complete minor wave 5, intermediate wave 5, and primary wave 3. So yes, we are heading to what I keep calling the stratosphere of prices for this index. These are historic new highs from the day this index started. We've never been here. So this is going to be interesting, because right now it does really seem that what's happening is that fund managers, portfolio funds and hedge funds, they're bracing themselves for the end of the second quarter, granted, but they're moving back into stocks that I'm not sure what they're assuming is going to be happening. But what it is providing are these incredible moves into uncharted territory. So within this minute wave 5, we are subdividing. So these are sub-minute waves. So that's sub-minute 1, sub-minute 2. Now we are within sub-minute wave 3, and it is subdividing. So these are sub-1, sub-2. And then the 3rd wave is again subdividing. So these are of minute wave 5, wave 2 of minute wave 5, and now 3. So subdividing how many times? 1, 2, 1, 2. Now we have to be able to count from here 5. So there was a 3, 4. I think this might be 4. If not, this is 5 of this 3. So that's a 3rd wave complete. Now we get a little bit bigger because we have to complete this one. And so it's either still finishing this 3rd, and that's where I think we might get to 14,289. And then it'll come down again, and then it'll rise up to complete the additional 3rd. And then it'll come down again in a 4 and go up one more time to complete again this larger 3rd wave. Well, 1, 2, maybe 3's here, then you get a 4, then you get a 5 to complete the larger 3rd. And I think that could end up somewhere up here. And I ran some internal Fibonacci's. We're going to add those right now. So bear with me because we're going to find where the overlap is. And again, this is now, we're putting Fibonacci's around what this third wave is developing towards and maybe what we can expect from that. So we're going to bring it back down to the start of wave 1. Right there, please. Thank you. Take it up to the top of wave 1. Down to the bottom of wave 2. So we have a little bit up in here, but we've already exceeded 14,264, which is this level. So that's why I'm thinking this might finish this little tiny third inside of the 3. So the 3 of 3 finishes here. We do a little 4, we come up, and we finish the secondary 3 either here, but more likely up here. And this is the kind of the part that where it's like you think, how are we going to get there? Same way we got to this level today. They just come in, they're buying, they're positioning themselves. So when that happens, they're just buying what they want. They're buying what they need for their portfolio. And so I think we could have enough strength to push us to this level. And if that completes that 3, then we still have another 4, and then we have another 5, and it is this additional zone up here, wrapped right around this 618. This 618 would be where wave 5 would be equal to 618 times the length of wave 3. That's where I think that this whole thing could end. And that zone kind of really stretches from 14,626 down to 14,500. So if we get this third to close out here, we come down and we go up, that really does bring this zone in. And actually we could go up a little higher. So wave 5, I don't think it gets all the way up here. And that's where wave 5 would be equal in length to wave 3. Can happen for sure, but boy, that would be a lot of stock. Somebody'd be buying a whole lot of stuff. Now, again, it could get real thin up here simply because this is uncharted territory. People are like, well, how high can it go? It's like, well, who knows? We've not been here before. But we can get some idea because we can put the Fibonacci's on there, but that doesn't mean it's like, that's exactly where it's going to go. We just adjust that by using a probability scale in history. So there we are. So our upside for tomorrow, I am looking for maybe a little bit more pullback here, but not a whole lot. Get up here, pull back again, and get up here. Now, if that happens overnight, we still then have an idea of what we should do because we're following the count. I got to get 5 waves done in here. So far, I've got 1, 2, and 3 still in force. And then I got a 4 and a 5, and that just completes this one. Then I got a 4 and a 5, and that's then going to complete this bigger one. So here, we're getting close. In my estimation, we're getting close to a pretty good top. Okay, downside should be limited. It truly should be. We should not be dropping a whole. We should not be dropping severely off of these levels. So I'm talking about our moving averages are going to guide us. And the ones that are going to be in play are the 4, the 8, and the 20. And they should guide where this goes, because if we pull back from here, here's likely a little 4th wave, but that could be A, B, we get a C. And then this would be the next. To wave 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know. But I think we get a little bit more here. It should hold above the 20 before we get up above this area, finish, and then come back again. It should be a little bit bigger. And then we go up again. Downside, limited. Work it against your moving averages. You can do internal fibs. Once you can see the move, you can see that it's complete, then you can run the retracements for that correction if it's a 4, or even if it's a 2. But right now we're finishing a sequence of 4s and 5s. Okay, I'm going to leave it right there. And do suggest it's like the trade room, we're really covering a lot of the more detail and a lot more of the setups and a lot more of what I look for. And for example, today there was a great swing trade. Not exactly what I do because I'm more of a day trader, so I'm trying to trade all the little individual moves. But on the hourly gave a wonderful swing trade today. And if I could point to it. All right, don't do that. I'll go over here. Just as a bonus, let me take this up. So I can pull it out and you can see it. And it was this morning. And it gave that buy signal, came down here. And then as it started to come back up when it got above 21, that was the signal. It's like, boom, we're off and going to the races. So we got long somewhere below, between 21 and 31. You got to ride this all the way up. Because you continue to use the 4 as your basic stop. And it hugged the 4 all the way up. It was a beautiful trade. Next update will be tomorrow, Wednesday, June 23rd.